Hello and welcome back to another spooky season review. Yes, I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com. I'm a blind film critic, and flashlights are fun. This is the amount of technology I'm able to use. It also doesn't bother me at all, but I have no idea what it looks like to you, but I'm going to roll with it this October and get feedback. So drop it in the comments. Does this look completely asinine? It's Child's Play 3. This movie has audio description on Netflix. Netflix, for some reason, picked up all of the Child's Play films except the first one with audio description. I don't know why. It is so weird. It is so weird. It's so weird. Like, I've never understood that with like streamers. Guys, what about blind people do you think makes them want to jump into sequels? Be like, oh yeah, well thanks for offering me, and they do it with TV shows too. They're like, yeah, we started audio description on season 5. Great. I'll just assume that there's absolutely nothing I need to know in the first 4 seasons of the show. I'll just start on 5. Thanks. Like, there's no logic at all. They're just like, I don't know. We're doing it. That's all that matters, right? You could go back and do all of them. Luckily, I'd seen the first 3 films anyway before vision loss. Thanks to endless amounts of streaming on cable. Just tons of cable time for these films. So Child's Play 3 sends Chucky to military academy. I would love to be in the room for the pitch for this. I love that the first film is like Child's Play. And you're like, okay, well I get the concept. The second film is like, okay, this feels like the next logical step. He's still going to go after Andy. Because that's when you make the choice. You're like, does he go after another kid? Or does he still keep going after Andy? And you're like, okay, so he's still going after Andy. Third film, you're like, fuck, what do we do? Okay, we already did foster care. We can't keep putting him in foster care. We want to make rapid sequels, so we can't suddenly make him an adult. We'll put him in military school. And we'll age him up to Justin Whalen. A talent lost to the 90s. And put him in this weird military academy plot where Andy has joined a military school because there's literally nothing else for him to do anymore at this stage in life. And Chucky, because the good guy company is just, by God, they are gonna make this good guy doll happen. And they're just going to keep rebuilding it. They're like, I know, every time we do this, horrible things happen, but we swear this time it's different. It's not. Of course, they build Chucky. Of course, Chucky comes alive and kills one of the executives again for the good guy company, and then figures out where Andy is, and then mails himself to the military academy, and then he pops out, and it's this kid Tyler, who's like the younger kid, this young black kid that they've put in the film, who Andy has he's looking out for because he's younger. There are like things about this movie. There's like a scene where Tyler's playing video games in the mess hall, and I'm like, what? You're at military academy, bro. Like I love that they're pushing this like heavy military thing on everybody else, but like Tyler's over there like on a Game Boy in the middle of the. I'm like, what is happening? We've got like this dude that's like patrolling the mess hall, like making sure everybody's hair is like regulation cut. Tyler's he's just chilling, playing some handheld video game. This film makes no sense. But of course, Chucky is nice to Tyler because he's like, well, if I can't use Andy, then this kid will do. There's even like a joke about that I'm sure in 1991 they were like, this will be funny 30 years from now. Poor Chucky's like, I'm gonna be a bro. Like, uh, what? This is this is one of those movies where you're just like, so this is the moment where Chucky starts to go off the rails, where they stop kind of taking him seriously as like a legitimate, uh, ooh, he might be scary to people, and they're like, he's not scary. We tried this. People are not actually scared of Chucky, but they enjoy him because he's some sort of like goofy horror fun. And I think the third film really just highlights that altogether because there really isn't anything about this that's scary. All the kills are really easily just sort of like, well, that's gonna happen, you know. Um, but yeah, that's the plot. Chucky goes to military school. It was, you know, if these films instead of being renamed like Child's Play 2, 3, if they were all like, it would be like Chucky goes to foster care, Chucky goes to military school. You know, Chucky gets married, Chucky has a kid. Like, just all those things. It would be just all the interesting renames for this franchise. Uh, so should you watch this? I don't know. I mean, like, you either know whether or not you like it or not. This is still back. This is like the old school Child's Play films are nowhere near as gory as Chucky is as a TV series. So if that is what you want out of life and the goal that you're looking for, just watch the damn TV series. Like, the TV series is campy and uh so so far gorier than, I mean, it's just, it feels like every episode they're trying to find a new way to like reinvent gore. They're like, has anybody ever done this before? Oh no, we'll do it. We'll try it. And you're like, man, this is a TV show. This thing actually airs like on TV. It's not just a streaming exclusive. Like, there's some stuff in some of the streaming exclusives where I'm like, oh damn, you know, where you're just like, oh my god, you know, the stuff that some people get away with, um, like Mike Flanagan, especially with some of his Netflix shows, he definitely has some gore where you're like, oh shit. But no, Chucky, to be on just like on like USA and Sci-Fi, you're just like, wow, okay, all right. I remember when on my USA we had to cut away for most of this stuff, which is one of the reasons why I've seen all the Child's Play films, because back in the day they just cut out the extremely violent parts. So it was like scary up to a point, but like any of the truly like, oh, it was gone. So was profanity, sex. Well, the profanity was changed into weird words, which is people have always made fun of that. They're just like, so but I don't know what to do with this. The funny thing is, like, it has a Metascore of 27, and I don't want to tip my hat and always say like films I watch at the same time, but I was thinking this movie basically does what you would think it would do. So I don't know why critics are. This is what I don't get. Like, I mean, I could come on here and be like, "Oh, this movie's terrible," and it's like, when you kind of look at what like Chucky as a brand is, though, he's kind of on brand. So either you don't like the brand, and you don't get it, you don't understand it, you don't know what it is, or, but it's not necessarily worse than any other film. I mean, it's kind of dumb. It's kind of like, why is Chucky in military school? It allows him to do things like swap out paintballs for live rounds, which they're not even like the same gun. Anybody who has a paintball gun, it's not the same. Like, you don't. Anyway, but yeah. So, um, I guess it offers him like a new way to do a couple things. So that's why they did it. But it sounds like a 27 Metacritic score, which is like infinitely lower. I saw another film where I was really surprised, and that film had like a 57, and I was like, oh my God, it feels really high. Junior. I'll go ahead and say what film it was. Junior. It's like a 57 Metacritic. I'm just like, Jesus. And then I look at Child's Play 3 and I'm like, oh my, why? Like, why? What is going on in the world of film criticism? Um, yeah, it's just, I don't know. Is it a great film? No. Is any Chucky film ever great? Nah, not really. But there's a niche for this. There's an audience that likes to watch it, and trying to like say where this film is in the pantheon of Chucky films. It gets a little bit dumber. It's not necessarily pressing new boundaries of gore, but it's the third Child's Play film. This is the film where they really start kind of figuring out that Chucky's not scary and he's kind of goofy, and playing into that, and then they play into it a little bit more. Um, he gets more and more campier, I think, as the series progresses after this. Really, only in the first two films do they actually try to play him as, I'm legitimately scary. No, you're not. Go sit down. Anyway, yeah, so Child's Play 3, spooky season. Check it out. Audio description, I thought was pretty well done, except for the fact that there's one scene where it's towards the end. Not really huge spoilers, but I will say there's a scene where like Andy and De Silva are running, and Tyler is with Chucky. And there's one scene where they got the audio description a little jumbled, and they put that Tyler was running with De Silva, but that Tyler was also running with Chucky. They forgot to say Andy and De Silva, and they said Tyler and De Silva. And it was just like a little thing. And I was like, Tyler cannot be running with both of these groups, because Andy and De Silva are trying to find Tyler and Chucky. So, like, those two things cannot be true. So yeah, they substituted in. They had Tyler running with both groups. Tyler's in two places at the same time. Oh my God. But other than that, I didn't really, I mean, I'd seen the film before. I didn't really think anything was like, oh, well, that didn't happen. Or, oh, granted, it's been a minute since I've seen the film, but yeah, there wasn't anything else that struck out to me. But there was that. There was that little glitch in the Matrix where I was like, oh, come on. Come on, guys. Come on. Like, you should have caught that. Somebody should have been like, the narrator reading it should have been like, wait a minute, how's he running with both groups of the, anyway, like, I just like expect people to just kind of catch things, like, even as you're reading them, like, as a narrator, as a script. Like, if I was acting and somebody handed me a script and like I was like, but this, what are these words? This doesn't even make sense. I would ask somebody, I would ask the director, I'd be like, is this correct? And they'd be like, oh yeah, no, it's not. Because sometimes it's not. Sometimes you get like a really weird translation, or the company passed through something and there's like a weird misprint, and then you happen to be the one that catches it. And somebody could have been the one that actually caught this in the script and been like, wait a minute, Tyler's running with both groups. That can't be true. He can't be in two places at the same time. What am I reading? Even if you haven't seen Child's Play 3, you're just like, Tyler's running with De Silva, Tyler and Chucky. And I'm like, what? What did I... Hold on. I mean, like, anyway. So I feel like even the narrator should have caught that. Like, you're just reading things off, but at the same time, your brain still has to be on, functioning and processing, like, what it is that you're actually saying. So, otherwise, I thought the track was good, but there was clearly that one moment where it was just like, that's not right. Anyway, I don't know what to do about Child's Play 3. I think that's probably what most critics, but my gut instinct is not to immediately be like, D, it's not Citizen Kane. It's not Apocalypse Now. It's not The Godfather. It's weird because I enjoy it more because it's starting to find that Chucky it's starting to finally realize what everyone else already knows. Chucky is not scary. but it's not quite to the level of camp. It's transitional camp. It's moving there, it's getting there. I don't know. I'm gonna give Child's Play 3 a B minus. I think all the Child's Play films, like if you like them, if you revive, they're probably all probably about the same. But uh I'll find out because I've actually never seen Cult or Curse. So this is what eventually I'm gonna get to those films and we'll see. But yeah. Um Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing and joining me for spooky season. Until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.